Hey everybody, I am going through my to-do list of ode tutorials, and this one I promised back in March. Yeah, I said March. I think to Rhonda Ray, but I didn't write a name beside it. So if it was somebody else, here's your tutorial. It's these homemade ephemera dots I make, and they're glossy and they're hard, and you can glue them to things. You can do the backs like I did this one. You can see it's shiny as well where I sealed the back, and make them pendants. You can do anything you want with them. And somebody had asked how I do them, and they're extremely easy. The only thing that takes any time is letting them sit up. So if you've watched me before, you know that I have these little boxes, and when I get through with the project, I either cut shapes into, punch, die cut, whatever my scraps, and I save them. I even save my outsides of all my scraps, and I just label them and use them whenever. And this is one of the projects I use them for. So I've just pulled out just a stack of them, and all you do is you just kind of and yeah, while I was sitting here, I had already started finding things I liked. You just kind of put things together that you like. And once you've got something that you like, then you just glue them to each other. And for that, I used my homemade decoupage glue. And I'm not going to sit and glue these. Just going to kind of show you. Oh, I like those two together. Just kind of going to lay some of these out so you can kind of see. And you'd glue them down. I get these words, and I get all different ones. This pack is from Tim Holtz. It's one of his ideology chit chat, and has lots of great just little single words. And I'll glue them down and put a word on them. And basically, once they're dry, they look like this. Okay. The only thing that I have done to this one that I haven't done to this one is I decoupaged them all together and dried it. And I just didn't want to make you watch me glue and dry, because we all know how to glue and dry. Then if you want to add any pen detail, you would do that now. Make sure you use a permanent pen. I made the mistake one time of doing this with a gel pen. Gel pens will melt, basically, into diamond glaze, and that's what we're going to coat this with. So I'm just using a Sharpie, and you can, just go around things to give it some depth. You can do whatever you want to do, because this is your creation. But this is when you would do any of this kind of detailing. And you don't have to do this. It's just totally whatever you want to do. Okay? So if you want to do any of that kind of stuff, you do it now. Alright. I do recommend you do this at the end of the day, and I'm not doing that. I'm doing this first thing in the morning because I knew I could do this one fairly quick. Because when you put your diamond glaze on here, diamond glaze has tension in the glaze, and so it will mound up and it'll stay as long as it's flat, because it is self-leveling, and you don't bump it, touch it, overfill it. Okay, so what you really want is somewhere you can put this, preferably all day, overnight, something. I would, does it say how long? It doesn't say, but I generally try to give mine at least, 6 to 8 hours, because you don't only want them dry on top, you want them cured all the way through. So normally I would do this at the end of the day, where I can just leave them on my desk where I filled them and fool with them the next day when I know they're dry. But because I'm not doing that this time, and I've got one I've already done, and yeah, it's on a thing, but I've kept him level, and you can see he's already starting to dry a little bit. Maybe you can. He's really milky on this side, but he's kind of getting a little clear on this side. And that's how you're going to know when it's dry, when it starts getting clear. So what you do, and my hand may be in the way because you have to have the bottle in a certain place when you do this, is you want to start as close to the edge as you can get and just go around and make, basically you're making a wall. You're making a wall for the diamond glaze to not go past. And it won't. You know, it'll respect your wall. Okay, if you fall off your piece, your diamond glaze is going to follow you. So you want to be real careful that you don't fall off. Another thing is, sorry, it's kind of hard to talk and do this at the same time. Another thing, I don't remember what I was going to say. Maybe it'll come to me. Oh, if you get air bubbles, don't panic. You can get them out at the end. And my bottle is almost empty. I do buy this in the giant bottles and just refill this one. It is much cheaper that way. Also, diamond glaze is a little hard to find, so I do order it online. I get mine off Amazon. They do not sell it anywhere near me. They sell glossy accents. I don't like glossy accents as well. There we go. Because I don't think it has as much tension on the sides, and it won't stack as high, and it falls over easier, at least for me. Okay, if you have air bubbles, and I don't know if you can see them, there's one right there, and right there, and there. All you're going to do is take your finger very, very, very lightly. Don't push. Just kind of barely touch your finger to the glaze. And as soon as you feel wet, pull back up. And as you can see, it didn't pop, but the air bubble stuck to me. And it came up. And that is all you do to get rid of air bubbles. Da, da, da. Okay. Also, if you're looking and you didn't perfectly hit the outside of your edge, remember you made a wall, it's not going to move. So take something, I usually use either the end of a paintbrush or a skewer, bamboo skewer, and lightly just pull it till your end. And as long as you don't go over the edge, you're fine. And again, this really just takes practice. It just takes practice. And I've done diamond glaze for years because I started in jewelry making, which is one of the reasons why everybody's like, you love diamond glaze. Yeah, I do. But I've used it for a long time. And oops, I just fell off. Because I was talking. Let's see if I can disassociate from that. And maybe it won't follow. Okay. Anyway, so there we go. That's all you do. Let them dry overnight. Because I do need to move them, I did put them on this. As long as I move it completely flat and put it somewhere else completely flat, it'll be fine. And, of course, keep it out of the reach of Riley Cat. Fur isn't a good addition. Bye, y'all.